Guess I'll start falling in love. I don't
Yeah.
know the other words. Hey y'all, what's up? That's all I know. I'm so sorry, Jesse. I don't mean to make a joke because I know you got sensitive about your music, and I think you should pursue what you're passionate about. So I will not
Yeah,
make
period.
fun
Fuck
of
them
your
kids. Do
I
what you
won't make
want.
fun of your music anymore. So I'm sorry that people do that. But we won't. And we haven't before. And we won't going
I mean,
forward.
actually, you kind of have.
I know it was being sarcastic.
Oh, I was about to say, wait, because I remember you being like back pocket.
In my back pocket. Anyways, so hey y'all, welcome to the Shave It All. I'm Brandon.
I'm Maggie.
And today we are covering part 2 of the Summer House season 10 reunion.
Part
Uh,
two.
it was a pretty good part 2, I would say. Usually part 2s of reunions aren't the best because they kind of put the fluff in it.
Yeah,
But I felt
yeah.
like it was entertaining enough for a part 2. I wasn't mad at it.
Yeah, usually there's like a lull a little bit. Like it's not as exciting as it was initially, but this one wasn't bad.
hmm And it ended strong. I'm excited for part 3.
Hmm.
But with that, let's get into it. But before we do, I just feel the need to remind you all that you should rate us 5 stars on Apple
Five
Podcasts.
stars. Do
And
it.
yes, and you should leave us a review because we shout those out and it's super fun. Also on Spotify, you can leave us 5 stars and you can leave comments under the episode. We love to respond to those. In case you wanted to see our beautiful voices instead of just listening to our beautiful faces. Wait, I said that wrong, didn't
Yeah, that's okay.
I? I was like, I saw your face. I was like, wait, I think I
Our
said that
beautiful
backwards.
faces and
Uh,
not just hear our beautiful
yes, if you want to
voices.
see our beautiful faces instead of just listening to our beautiful voices, sorry, y'all, it's late. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Shade It All Podcast. It's
Do
super
it.
fun. Also, we post fun clips on TikTok at the Shade It All Podcast. We're on Threads, not through our Instagram for the podcast because we don't remember that information. But I have been posting it on my personal thread. So if you want to follow
Oh
B
yeah,
Lord
use
AF,
your
you can.
get Brandon's hot
Um,
takes. I'll be there soon.
yes. Maggie will eventually. But then also you can join our Patreon at the Shade of It All for only $3 a month. We do weekly live watch parties. We've been doing Summer House every Wednesday at like 8 p.m. Eastern. However, Summer House is ending after this episode. There's one more. So we're only going to be doing that one more week. So next week we'll be doing it Wednesday, but then also next week we're going to be starting our Love Island live streams.
Mhm.
I think we decided Fridays around like 9 p.m. Eastern when the episodes are supposed to drop. They drop a little early, but we'll plan for that time. Because the premiere was yesterday. I watched, Maggie hasn't watched yet, but
I'm not there yet.
have no fear because we'll be recording our first episode of Love Island this weekend, y'all. Yes, we are still covering Love Island, of course.
Yes, we wouldn't miss it
So
for the world.
no, we're super excited. I enjoyed the premiere. It was too damn long, but it was fun. And I like the people, so it's fine.
Ah, yes.
But so stay tuned for that, y'all. But okay, enough of all that. Let's get into the episode. Uh
Reunion part two.
yes, it picked up on Timu Bell, aka Amanda. She was crying after Ciara said
She
that she
said,
was weak.
my freeze frame started like this, like just Amanda with a big tissue under her eye.
It did
And
with
it
her
was
fuck ass
quiet.
bun.
It was really quiet. I was like, dang.
Yes. Lindsey fills the silence and says that she's gotten really close to Amanda lately because she said before they got close in the City show that filmed after Summer House. And she feels bamboozled, but also very protective of Amanda still. So she's just like, West is gonna fuck you over. And
Yep.
then West tries to say, just because you heard about a girl that I hook up with sometimes, referring to Miha, which stay tuned.
Hmm.
And then Lindsey calls him a pathy and says that we don't believe anything he has to say. To which I say,
Hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
KJ chimes in and he says that West is just like his dad. His dad was like a womanizing player, a habitual liar. He knew how to make people feel good. And this whole thing has just been very triggering because it's reminded him of that and like how his mom was treated and what she went through. And he doesn't
Yeah.
like how Ciara's being treated in all of this.
Yeah. And he didn't want to sugarcoat it anymore. And I was like, dang, this is like, we talk about West's behavior, but like we don't really talk about I think KJ's example really like brings it home more. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
what men who behave like this can do and like the impact they can have on people and how it's just not okay. Um and Wes is like, I think he gives like an apology. He's like, I apologize again. And KJ, I hope we can talk one day. And KJ's like, I might be open to that. And I was like, no, KJ, decline the request. We don't need to talk to somebody like him. It's just, no, but KJ's better than me. So,
KJ's sweet. You're sweet too.
yeah, but I don't know if I would talk to, yeah, I would probably.
I don't know. I
Like,
wouldn't.
would we give him the time? Sierra's never going to speak to him again.
No.
The rest of the cast probably will because they're not as connected, but dang, he really messed up.
He really did. And then KJ brings up the race conversation that was had this
Hmm.
season. And Ciara is just like, yeah, it was important to talk about race. Like, given like being in a space with like white friends and having these like interracial friendships and relationships, it's important to talk about race. It's important to talk about the political climate because it's terrible now. And like, if someone's not open to that, then I'm not interested in a friendship.
Yeah.
Um, and then because at that conversation, West had said, "Oh, Ciara, I see you so much more now." And Ciara's like, "I believed him then, but clearly I don't believe him now." And I think him and
Yeah.
Amanda were just using buzzwords all summer to try to like satiate me because they kept being
Hmm.
like, "Oh, I see you, Ciara, I see you."
Hmm. Hmm.
And Amanda's like,
Hmm.
"No, I meant it when I said it. And yeah, in that moment, I did mean it." And Ciara's just like, "Fuck off. No, you didn't."
Yeah.
Ugh.
No, she didn't. She didn't. And I mean, it is lip service. Like your actions speak louder than words.
That
Period.
part. You can say it all you want, but if you do the exact opposite,
Yes,
like,
she's like, I'm tired of I put myself out there on this show and I get critiqued because of how white people treat me on this show. Then the white people in question, one in particular, and then another decides to join in and do exactly what she said. Like this is like I'm sure she's getting critiqued for being Amanda's friend, and it's like, bro, I
mm-hmm,
can't even get a fucking break. Like I'm just living my life, coexisting with all of you, and I get more critique than you ever will.
mm-hmm. And then y'all do this? Okay.
Okay.
Um, they start to talk about Amanda just kind of just like, why are you like here with Wes? Like, how did you get like given Wes history? How are you comfortable kind of like being in this situation with him? And she's like, we had a lot of combos and conversations and just like things like that as to, and that's why I can sit next to him. And Mia's just like, what were these conversations? Because I'd love to know what y'all talked about to where you can just like discard Ciara's friendship and like forget about all the summers you spent together and like the secrets you shared and all of that, all for Wes.
Yeah.
So, what did y'all talk about? And Mina's
Yeah.
like, it's private.
Well, first she's like, "Oh, well, it started with a friendship," and Sierra's like, "Yeah, like how I was your friend." And then she's like, "Yeah," and then she's like, "Oh, but the other, like, I don't really want to go into detail, blah blah blah." And they're like, "You've been out with him, like you go to the Yankees game, like you've been seen publicly with this guy, and now you can't talk."
Well, that
And
part.
and then Asia brought up a good point in the chat. She's like, "You continuously told us everything about Kyle, unashamedly, but now you can't speak about West."
Right. If and also if it's something that could at least provide clarity or
Yes.
maybe some more understanding,
It could
maybe.
help your case. So open your mouth and say something. But I think she knows it's all bullshit. She doesn't have anything good to say because there's nothing good to give.
Mm-mm. Because what is Wes really gonna say? He's not smart.
Really? Like he gives her a pep talk later in the episode, and I'm like, this is who you lay with?
That's all I think about every time I see them.
Come
I'm like, this is who
on,
you
girl.
lay with?
Like, come on, please, Amanda, please.
I can't. So then Amanda says that she was embarrassed to have to tell Ciara that she had feelings for Wes and that they had kissed. And it was just like really embarrassing for her. And Mia goes, yeah, it's embarrassing. And then Amanda's just like, I gotta go. I can't.
This is too much.
I'm like, not that being the final straw.
I'm saying, I was like, not all the other stuff. When she decided to get up and go, I was like, wait, it wasn't even that bad, but it was probably the compilation of everything. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt.
I guess. And then Wes doesn't get up, doesn't even look like he's gonna try to. And Mia's like,
Mm.
are you gonna go after her? And Sierra's like, yeah, you should go after your girl. And he's like,
Mm.
I just didn't know if there was gonna be other questions.
And then they're like, and then Lindsay, and I think Kyle says that the stuff was too harsh or too much or something.
He said something like, oh, like we need to be able to let her talk because she might just feel like she's getting cut off. And Sierra's like, oh, you roll around in the mud, you get dirty. And Lindsay's like, we're not cutting her off. Like she's fine. I literally get attacked every season and I don't walk off. Like, what
Yeah,
the fuck?
I like that. Like, okay, we're not babying this girl anymore. Like, she can answer some fucking questions. So Lindsay is like, I have answered so much shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. Also, Wes, get your ass up and go to her. Why aren't you leaving right now? Get
What? So
up.
you guys can just like get mad at us for like both being gone?
It's like that's your concern.
Wes.
And that's him in a nutshell, right? He only cares about what the group, the masses think about him. He doesn't care about people on an individual level. He's only concerned with his image. So if I get up, you're going to keep talking about me? That's what you're worried about right now? Not comforting your girlfriend? You have to marry her, remember?
That's gonna be your fiance.
You have to marry her. It's required.
Well,
I think
here's
you
the
might have
thing.
to have kids too.
You might. Like, y'all gotta be the notebook. Y'all gotta die together. Like,
Yeah.
y'all gotta like grow old. You gotta help her through. What did she have in the notebook? Didn't she have something she couldn't remember? Was it Alzheimer,
Uh,
dementia?
something.
Something.
I
I
don't
never
actually think
saw
I
that
have.
movie. I only saw the
Same.
ending.
I was about to say I haven't watched The Notebook. Don't shoot me.
Shout out to the notebook people out there. I'll watch eventually.
Oh.
But the the thing about West is, okay, I'll say this. You're probably right. No matter what you or Amanda do, you're gonna get criticized. But then
Mm-hmm.
what I would say is, okay, since you know no matter what you do, you're gonna get criticized because you both suck. What you should then do is what you want to do and what you feel is right. And what you
Mm-hmm.
just showed us was you did not want to comfort Amanda. You did not want to do that because you
I didn't.
acknowledge anything you could do is wrong. So in
Yep.
that scenario, you would be like, fuck it, I'm going to check on her still. I care about her. I want to make sure she's okay. You did
Yep.
not feel that way.
You didn't feel that way? Not for a second. You
No.
just cared about how your impression would look.
Right.
It's like you're so stupid. And then he finally gets up and goes and Bailey's like, I would have even gone to check on her. Lindsay was about to go check on her. Like Kyle was even gonna go check on her. Like, bro,
And Mia's
bare
like,
minimum
I
shit.
wasn't.
I loved that.
But Ciara did say one funny line that I can't get over. Because also before Wes gets up, I think another thing Kyle said was just like, she may have just been sad about what was said 30 minutes ago. And Ciara just goes, historically, she's had low self esteem. Like, I didn't lie.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
period.
Drag her. Drag her, Ciara. Drag
It's
her.
true.
Drag me, Monique.
Wes tells Amanda, if you're gonna cry, cry on stage. I'm like,
And that, again, I'm like, he literally only cares about Brandon. I think he's a narcissist. He doesn't hear anything.
no.
No words are registered in his brain. He's just like, okay, what could be the best for me? And if she's connected to me, if she cried on stage, it'd look pretty good.
It
Crying
gets
on stage is
sympathy.
weird. Yeah, like you're so good,
You're
Wes.
so good,
He's
Wes.
so calculated. But I'm like, not crying on stage. I don't even think I don't think we heard her respond. And he's not even comforting her. He goes in. They don't look like well, Ciara says this later, spoiler. But they don't look like they like each other at all, Brandon. Now that I think about it, when they walk into like when they first are in the dressing room together, they're sitting next to each other, but there's no like affection, nothing. She's crying and he's sitting in the separate seat.
He looks like he doesn't even know what to do.
She's on a couch. He sits in a single seat talking about, yeah, cry on stage though. I think he hugged her, maybe. But I'm just like, y'all are weird.
He knew how to hug her and comfort her when she was like still with Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
But
Pulled that chair
now,
right over to her. And
hmm
so they have they all take a break, and then Kai, who is it? Who huddles, Brandon?
oh, it was Kyle, Ciara, Mia, Carl, and I think Ben.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where Kyle's like, we need to lean into the fact that Wes is a liar. I know he's had a girlfriend or been exclusive with someone since February of 2025. And then he talks about Miha and how curiosity got the best of him. He messaged her. She sent him all these receipts and that he got permission to also send them to Ciara so
Mm-hmm.
that Ciara and Miha could talk. So
Yeah.
they're about to honk the horn on him,
Mm-hmm.
which I cannot
Very
wait.
February 2025 is crazy. That pushes
That
the timeline
is.
back a year, a whole
We're
year.
in May 2026.
Yeah. And apparently they got together February 2026, right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I think earlier, but they're holding true to February.
Mm-hmm.
Um Dara enters. We say bye to Levi. Bye, Levi.
Bye. We didn't even say bye. She just left.
But Dara does enter. Amanda's still not back.
Crazy.
And then we learn that KJ and Tara, they've been together for 10 months, but not congruently. And this week, KJ was on Carl's podcast, and he revealed that when he had went to get help, um, that Mia had actually told Dara that she should break up with him because he needs space and like time to heal. And I think something like that. And that he was very thankful and that eventually him and Dara did get back together. I didn't listen to the full interview. I do want to. I just saw a clip, but
Hmm.
they did break up for a little bit. I don't know how long,
Yeah.
but so that's what she meant by not congruently.
I could understand what she meant from context. I don't think congruent is the right term. That's like a isn't that like a math word? Congruent? I think she meant consecutively. Because congruent, that's not what congruently means. That's why I was like, congruently, question mark.
Let's look
I
it
just
up.
looked it up actually.
Oh, what does it mean?
I closed it. It was like living in harmony.
LOL.
Congruently means actively living or operating in complete agreement, harmony, or correspondence. That's not what she meant.
Well, yeah, given the context, probably not. So
I think she meant consecutively, which is fine. That's just
it's
why I was
fine.
like, no, during our live stream, I was like, congruently, question mark, what does that mean?
That's funny. Then we get Dara just drags West.
Yeah, because she comes back.
Or
Amanda
wait,
comes back.
first she does it before Amanda
Oh,
comes
yes, yes,
back.
yes.
She just simply says, "Look, you can't call these women your friends that you've like been with when you treat them like they're expendable."
Period.
And like you just want to be perceived as this good guy, but like you don't actually act like it. And Wes is like,
Hmm.
you're totally right. Like I understand what you're saying. And Sierra's like, where's Amanda? She should hear this.
Right. And then I was like, I asked Brandon and everyone else on the stream, like, I've never seen anyone do that. People will take a break and then Andy will say, okay, let's all take a break. And then they'll come back after that break. Like,
Right.
you're just gonna let that girl stay out for however long. And then someone said that, oh, she was gone for more than 20 minutes. That's crazy. Like, we have a job to do. You're paid to be here. And you're just
Right.
not here. I'm kind of annoyed that production wasn't like, clock in, girls. Time to go.
Look, they're probably just trying to like be careful because there was the whole reality reckoning where Bethany Frankel tried to sue them. And there was like backlash with the Scandival reunion because Raquel walked out once and no one checked on her. So they're probably just like, okay, let Amanda walk out. But it was a little long. At least by the time the break is over, be back.
Or don't start until she's back. Because then
Yeah.
we have to backtrack anyway. Let us all take a long break. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't care.
Um, We start to learn a little bit more about Ben. Him and Sabrina are great. This is actually kind of sad. She met
Yeah.
his family, and that apparently him and his dad, he hadn't hugged his dad since he was 19.
Yeah.
And so Sabrina made sure to, like, when she was there, to always hug him and everything. And then by the time the end of the trip came, he hugged his dad for the first time, and like since he
Yeah.
was 19. And we learn a little more about the dad, that he's like this conservative Christian, and that I guess he had found or he walked in on Ben in a bed with his girlfriend, and he was just like, I'll never speak to you again. He sounds terrible.
Yeah, I was like,
It explains Ben's strict nature.
Ben is pretty strict. And I was like, were y'all, I'm assuming they were having sex. So maybe that would make me, you think they were?
I don't know.
Well, that would make me be like, okay, son, give me a day or two, but the rest of your life is insane.
Right.
Like seeing my kid in a compromising position, but it was just I'm assuming from the context it was the fact that he was doing something that was like bad in his dad's eyes and against their religion. And that means you will never speak to your son again? That's insane.
It's crazy.
That's crazy. So much for unconditional love. Isn't that what Christians believe in?
You would think. Not Ben's dad. He's like, I missed that scripture.
Which is crazy because Ben said he went and apologized. And his dad was like, please, son, no more words forever.
I
That's
won't hug
sad.
you for another 20 years.
So it also speaks to like how Sabrina was able to help him bridge that gap with his dad, which is
Hmm.
really awesome. Sabrina
Yeah,
seems I really like Sabrina.
I do too. I
From
mean,
what I've seen of Sabrina, I like her.
she brings an energy. Is it unsettling sometimes? Yeah. Do I
I
care
don't
for
think
them
so.
together? Not really.
I
But
feel like I'm Sabrina AF. I'm Sabrina coded. Like,
you are not.
because just like how she's like, oh my God, hi, I want to meet you. Yes. Oh, you guys are cute together. You should totally, like, hype, just gassing people up for no reason that you don't know, gassing strangers up.
I could see that. You do, but you have a different energy. But look, I wouldn't be mad if they came back next season.
Yeah, they should.
She gets stuff started.
She does.
Amanda returns,
Hmm.
and then Dara repeats what she said about West.
Oh, she's like, actually, yeah, while you were gone, I wanted to say,
Just so you know, I was
is
gonna
this
say
on?
that he wants to be perceived as a good guy, but he's not a good guy. He treats the women in his life that he's romantic with as expendable and with far less respect than anyone else in his life.
Hmm.
It's always going to be the West show, and he just wants somebody who can mold and fold and do whatever he needs to do. So you really just need to ask yourself if it's worth it.
He's concerned with himself and being liked, period. And I was like, it's so funny as soon as Amanda comes back. And he's like, hey, Amanda, we had some stuff for you.
We actually had a note. We know you just stopped crying, but
But, and it's like, and she just sits there and just really doesn't acknowledge what Dara said at all. But then Andy comes with a great ass question.
what did he ask?
Because he was like, okay, because Dara just got done saying it's the West show. And
Oh
Andy's like,
yeah.
yeah, it's so interesting, Amanda, because you just got off of essentially the Kyle show and now you're on the West show. And some would argue that they're the same, essentially,
Some
is his
being
question.
us.
It's some being us. And then Kyle's like, the Kyle show wasn't that bad. And I'm like, please stop. We have
Kyle.
things to take care of, Kyle. Can you please?
Enough, Kyle, because you really like. I thought his performance was so bad this week.
Really?
I just think he can't form a sentence.
Yeah, he folds quickly. He's not very, for some reason, argumentative in these
Yeah. And
scenarios.
then Wes can't argue either. So it's just watching two dum-dums try and argue. I'm like, I can't. This is terrible.
Yeah, and I don't actually even really think that Amanda replied much. I think people started chiming in again, and then she just shut down again.
Well, when too many truths are asked or told to her, she doesn't often have anything to
She's
say.
like, "Ah, well, since I don't have anything to say, I don't have any defense."
I'm gonna loosen my ponytail bun. We talk about Jesse a little bit. We were reminded of him saying he wanted to make out with Ciara this summer and Ciara feeling objectified. He does own it though, and he's just like, I misread the situation and I really regret like how I handled everything.
I don't buy that bullshit. You misread the situation. No, I think you knew exactly what you were doing. You're trying to play in her face. I think you did it intentionally. Because what did Ciara really do to make him think that she liked him? That was different than the norm.
True. She did say the bedtime did blur lines. I don't
That
know.
much?
Look, he's
I don't know.
stupid. And not to make too many excuses, but I will say I just appreciate that. And I've heard other podcasts say this like throughout the time, and I do agree. He's never backtracked on like his apology.
That's true.
So I can give him that at least.
Yeah, I know. I just think that saying I misread is a cop out.
It is. Because
Because
it's
you
like,
did
did you?
you no, you kind of did it on purpose. I shouldn't have done it. Period.
Mm. And leave it at that.
Yes.
They ask if the friend or the song about falling in love with your best friend is about Ciara. He says no, but then another question asks, is it about Amanda and Wes? And Ciara's like, they can play it at their wedding.
Since they have to get married, and Amanda rolls her eyes, and I'm like, you have to marry him. I'm so sorry. You don't know. You two don't know. Yeah, your only way, your best route out of this,
We
holy
made the
matrimony.
invites on Canva already.
We decided you're gonna get married in Prague. Wait, no, you're gonna get married on the farm.
You're gonna get married on the farm that everyone's been there. So
Everyone's
like
been there already. They already
it's
know where it
familiar
is.
grounds.
You actually don't need to
Um,
send invites. They know where it is.
They all know where it is. They've seen it before. Even if they haven't been, they've seen pictures. And it's just, we have the invite sent. It's an evite that opens up to the song Cold Hearted Snake. It's perfect. Y'all are going to walk down to Jesse's song. He's going to sing it live. The flower boy is going to be Kyle. And then Sierra's going to wear white. Um, And then Jesse says he's single and he's looking for something more serious. And then he gets emotional about his singing because the cast is
Yeah.
very supportive and he often gets played and like made fun of online. And he's really passionate about it. He went to school for it and he
I didn't
just
know that.
appreciates the support.
He looked really sweet and cute in that picture of him in school.
Yeah, it was nice. And look, we clown on Jesse. The singing clowning is just all good fun. And I
Yeah.
don't think he's look, I'm not going to give him an inch because straight men take a mile. But I will say I'm not going to say anything. Anyways,
I think I saved Back Pocket on Spotify. That's my contribution.
you did do that.
Yeah. Liked it, period. That's it.
So then we get to Carl and Lindsey. Um and Carl says he felt the most himself this season and Softbar's doing well and the cast has been very supportive. And he says it meant the world to him to see Lindsey there because she had always supported him and he just really appreciated it. And Lindsey does say she thinks watching the show, because she wasn't there every weekend, that Carl really felt more like in his skin this season. He truly seems confident, and it's a beautiful thing to see that he's who he should be. And I'm like, this is a very nice moment between the two of them.
It is. I think this is the first time we've seen Lindsey not throw shade at him.
It was. It was nice.
It was nice.
They then talk about the Uber Eats ad, which was stemming from Kyle's on the street interview after the West and Amanda statement, where he was saying Carl's a mess. Everyone's just a mess. It's just awful. It's really affecting the friend group. And so Carl and Lindsey did an Uber Eats ad where Carl's like crying in his apartment and Lindsey's like gives him like a tissue or something. Like it was very funny, very cute. And also, it was about the situation, but mainly about Kyle's comment regarding the situation.
But had you not heard Kyle say anything, the ad wouldn't have connected back to Kyle. Like, or
Yeah.
had you not heard Kyle say like, had you not seen that clip, you wouldn't have known because
Yeah.
the ad really didn't say anything about that. It was just them calling Carl messy,
Yeah.
which you
Eh,
could do in general without Kyle's statement.
right. And you can make the argument, oh, it's because he's soft. Like it could have been like all of that, like that they've
Yeah,
done in the past. They didn't reference Amanda and West, but
no.
Amanda was very offended because she would never do this during Lindsey and Carl's breakup.
Hmm.
And Lindsay's just like, look, like it was based off what Kyle said. And Ciara's just like, I didn't give a fuck. Kyle thought it was funny. And then Lindsay's just like, look, honestly, like I've been here for 10 years. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
And, and man is like, I've been here for 10 years too.
You actually weren't cast on the show. You were a booty call for Kyle season one. And then because you dated him, you
Oh,
became a cast member season
oh,
two, which is
oh.
fine. But let's not act as if you were like cast and you've really brought anything other than Kyle. And you're like
And then,
crying.
and then Ciara really brings it home. She's like, yeah, you wouldn't monetize anything, but you'd fuck your friend's ex, right?
Period.
Standards are so interesting, just how they, flip flop, change on a dime.
Right.
We're just not sure. And Ciara was like, I didn't give a fuck about it
Yeah. Because
either.
also, if y'all lived through the Scandal era, that cast was doing podcasts, selling merch, doing a bunch of ads as well.
Yeah,
Like people other even than Ariana were doing that shit.
yeah,
So like really, this was like a light compared to that.
it
So
was.
Amanda, you should be thankful that it wasn't bad. Like this was nothing.
Amanda, you should concern yourself with other things.
But she won't. And Lindsay does say, I also was there for Ciara and Kyle during all of this and like really being a good friend to them and checking on them.
Hmm.
So I think it's okay that we did an ad making light of the situation.
Yeah, whereas you tried to destroy them with your actions and your behavior
Yeah.
and lie to them.
Mm. We get to the freedom dinner. Kyle does apologize for Carl for not being there for him this summer. And Carl's just like, I get it. I understand. Because Kyle's just like, Loverboy was going down. My relationship was going down. Everything was in turmoil. And Ciara says she had apologized to Kyle earlier that day, which we saw last episode.
Hmm.
In that, look, there was just some things she didn't see his side on, and she's sorry about that. She still doesn't think how he speaks to people is great, and like
Right.
when he flies off the handle. But there were certain things that she did feel bad about, which I think is fair.
Yeah.
Um, they asked Wes about him moving his seat next to Amanda.
Mhm.
And he was just like, I just like wanted to like have her back because like I think like he was like mad at like Ciara and Lindsay, but he took it out on Amanda. And I just wanted her to know that I wasn't there. It's like, okay,
And she's like,
thanks.
yeah, he was comforting me and he was so being supportive and comforting me.
And it just meant the world because usually it was just my female friends that would have my back throughout the years, but finally a guy had my back.
She's
So you
like,
know what I did
actually,
to those female friendships? I burned them to the ground
I
because
was,
West defended me.
I was like, everybody is always nice to you when Kyle does stuff.
That
Like,
part,
oh, not even just the girls, it's the guys too. But
yes.
sure, he was there for you. He was there for her. Oh my God.
But that's just so Amanda. Her whole thing is it's literally this encapsulates Amanda. Your friends that were females were like defending you for years, but it took one guy to defend you for you to throw those friendships away.
Yeah, she's very male centered. And she's just like it doesn't the man's the man's input outweighs everyone else's.
Hmm. Kyle was hurt during that dinner, and why he said fuck you was because he felt like Amanda was letting everyone do her dirty work, which yes.
Hmm.
Um they then mentioned the Cartier comment for like the Cartier watch where Wes made the comparison to Wolf of Wall Street. And he was just like, look, it was a bad comparison, but it is what it is. Like I was just frustrated because he had just called her a dumbass fucking bitch. And Kyle was just like, did you say that because it would make me look even worse? And then Wes is like, I can't make you look worse. You called your wife a dumbass fucking bitch. To which I say, Kyle, we need to, just like in Potomac, we need to teach these people how to argue.
We do.
Kyle, what you need to say is this. I was wrong for saying that to Amanda, which he was. And I don't
Yeah.
think anyone can argue that.
No,
Like,
it was dead wrong. It was
Kyle
not.
was dead
No, don't
wrong.
do that. Don't do that.
And that was so wrong. Stop. Like, period. All of that. However, West, how I'm feeling, because now you're fucking Amanda, my wife. And now that you all are together, when I see you make those comments about me And when I see you comforting her and being intimate in certain ways with her, it makes me feel as though you always liked her when I was still with her. So
Or
when
you
you
were at
make,
least with her when those comments were made.
yes. So when you made that comment, not that were you trying to make me look worse, but were you going extra hard to elevate yourself and to get in good favor with my wife, who you are now currently with?
And he would have been gagged. He wouldn't have been able to say anything.
Because
He
that's the
wouldn't have.
problem. The defending the Amanda isn't the problem. Because
Yeah.
Amanda should have been defended. Like Kyle was
Yeah.
wrong. Like,
Yeah.
look, this season we've learned, and with all this, that Amanda is at more fault than we had thought previously. But that doesn't
But
discount that Kyle was also still wrong and a terrible husband.
correct.
So, but Kyle just doesn't know how to argue. He's just fumbling through all his words. I'm like, Kyle, I can't
He
get behind you. I
is.
can't do this.
I
Like,
was like, not you letting West win the argument.
right. I'm
Like,
like, that's the first argument Wes has ever won.
yeah. And then
Oh,
it's like you let he's like, I got this one actually. What I thought was interesting is that they didn't even mention Amanda talking about the watch. And she's like, that watch was totally for him. It was for in her confessional. Remember, she's like, that watch was for him. It was for his ego. And at least I got a watch before I'm not with him anymore. Like, at
yeah.
least I got a watch out of this relationship. I was like, y'all aren't gonna ask her about that
Nope.
because that was crazy. Also, they didn't ask Lindsey about Carl's mom. I forgot
They
to mention that
didn't.
earlier.
That's a good
We're
question.
missing things.
We are.
We're skipping some chapters.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Kyle did say that Amanda set the tone for the summer when the first thing she said was that he became a DJ to spite her. And she said, no, you set the tone for the summer when he fell asleep at a fan's house. And I'm not on. This is tough.
Because we believe that he did become a DJ to spite her, unless it's really not true, which I'd
Here's
love
the
to know.
thing when he said he wanted to be a DJ, it was in response to him being upset that she wanted to leave Loverboy to start a bikini line. So I
Yeah,
think the idea was set in spite. I
yeah,
think it evolved to something else to where he was making funny and he actually is passionate about it.
yeah,
But I think the initial argument and the root about it was that.
yeah.
And also, I can't defend Kyle spending the night at a fan's house
Nope, nope,
until
nope.
he didn't come home until 7 a.m. And he tries to make this excuse. I was at an after party till 5 and I dozed off. So you
And
fell asleep.
no, he was like, I wasn't sleeping, but like I was like so drunk that I wasn't like aware. And it's like, excuse me. And he's like, there was 15 people there. And then yeah, but like Amanda never goes out with me. And I'm like, pause, full stop. No, it was wrong.
Right.
Just say you're wrong. Don't
That
try to
part.
defend.
He's like, most nights where I do go on a bender, Amanda was supposed to be there, but then she dipped out. And it's like, okay.
Okay, yeah.
Anyways. And now it goes to the discussion of you didn't want to go out with Kyle, but now you want to go out with Wes.
Yep.
And she's basically, and I see some people saying, like, oh, she's changing the reason. And like, because it's like, oh, first it's, oh, because he blacks out. Then it's like, oh, because they argue. It's like, oh, because there's rumors. And I'm like, I think it's everything.
I think it's
Which,
all of it. Yeah.
yeah. And then Ciara's just like, but you don't like going out. And she's like, I don't like going out with Kyle. And then Ciara's so funny. She's like, oh, sorry, Kyle. And Kyle starts crying. And I'm like, here's the thing. I think it's both. I think Amanda doesn't like going out, but I think she also didn't like going out with Kyle.
Yeah, I but I do I when they talk about it from their perspective, I do think it's valid because you go from like saying you don't want to go out, whatever. Now you're out on the town with somebody who acts and behaves kind of worse than Kyle in their perspective. Haven't necessarily seen Wes go crazy, but I've heard about some of his behaviors that he likes to do some recreational activities. And
Allegedly.
so allegedly. So he's like, you don't want to go out with me, but then you pick this kid. And then like Ciara's also like, yeah, you're like pick us pick it. Like,
Yeah.
okay, yes. All right, you hated your husband so much you didn't want to spend time with him. Fine. But also you're with somebody who's the equivalent, if not worse, than your husband in the same behaviors.
Yeah. It's kind of just like you're just like switching like another fuck boy, like party boy to be with. I
Yeah.
do wonder. I'm like, are you gonna think he's gonna change like you thought Kyle was gonna change? Like,
Right.
I don't know. But it's just
Yeah.
like Yeah, and I get that too. I'm just like, okay, but you're essentially going for the same thing, except like, okay, West is maybe like West doesn't yell, but like you still have to like baby him.
Yeah,
If like,
it's
just like you did with Kyle, which I think that's where Amanda finds her empowerment
yeah.
with all of that. But it's just like it doesn't make the most sense. Like I can understand again, yeah, you not wanting to go out with Kyle, but then
Yeah.
like, but what is this thing with West?
Exactly, exactly, because they have very similar qualities. But I get what you mean. I can understand why she didn't want to go out with him. They didn't have a great marriage. They didn't listen to each other. He didn't hear her out. She felt whatever. All
Yeah.
of it. It makes sense. But then why pick somebody who's like just as bad? That
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. And then your argument's like
He
a little
goes out
sloppy.
twice as much as me. It's crazy. He's so immature. And I say that because you're fake phony. And shut the fuck up.
And I say kid because yeah. I was like, okay,
Oh,
Kyle,
Kyle, I
let it
can't.
out.
It
This is the first
reminded me
time we've
of
seen
his
him
fight with
upset.
his argument with Carl. You 6'5" motherfucker.
What did
Um,
he say?
you're such a
He
vagisil.
back.
Like, all right, Kyle. Time to go to bed, Kyle.
Mm.
Um,
And Amanda doesn't answer, right? She doesn't have a response for the partying
no.
twice as hard.
She says
Wes
something
doesn't
like,
either.
"Oh, I haven't experienced something like similar to how Kyle is with West." And I'm like, "You haven't experienced it yet."
Yeah.
They talk about the initial statement Kyle and Amanda made on
Hmm.
January 19th. And apparently, they split that very day, and Amanda was very pushy about putting the statement out, and she wanted it done so soon, probably because she wanted to be with Wes. But also, Amanda does say that the last or the final straw was New Year's because they got in an argument. He went out without her, and then like he didn't come home until like late or something. Which I think Asia made a
No.
good point where she said something like, "But they live separately."
Yeah, that's fair too. She said he was at a hotel in Hoboken.
Oh yes, he was at some random hotel.
Yeah. And so she's like, I don't want to start the year like this again.
Yeah, which okay, but then Kyle made a good point. Okay, watching this season back, you didn't even try. So like,
Period.
were you really done then?
Yeah.
Or like,
Yeah, watching the season back, like you were finished in the summer. You were over it. You gave up on this a long time ago.
yeah. And then they talk about all the rumors of Kyle cheating, and Kyle says he did act out at certain times, but he never like had an affair or like cheated. And Amanda's like, I literally got a DM from a girl saying you had asked to make out with her, and there's a video of you in the club making out with somebody.
Hmm.
And he's just like, whoa, when you're not getting your needs met. And I'm like,
I don't
okay,
like
but
that.
like that's not an excuse to cheat, Kyle. Again, I'll flip it because we're all like, oh, why didn't Amanda leave? Why didn't Kyle leave?
Exactly.
Like your needs
Exactly.
weren't being met as well.
Exactly. Like don't say your needs aren't being met. Leave the person. That's not the go ahead to say like, "Oh, well, let me get my needs met somewhere else." No, that's not a good excuse. And so I do love because like we talked about it a little bit. I was like, I don't want to rewrite history and say Kyle's a great guy. Kyle is not. And
No.
this is a great example. If you forget, watch part 2 of the reunion and see what he has to say because no, he's very selfish, makes excuses for his behavior and finds ways to justify it instead of like just saying it was wrong, you know?
Yeah. And then it's just like too, because they say that they haven't been intimate for 4 years. So the duration of their whole marriage,
Yeah.
which is crazy pretty much, because it's just like, I don't like, I'm like, why did y'all get married? I
Hmm.
think it was for, here's the thing. I think Amanda, it was both from a place of insecurity. I think Amanda wanted to be picked and then she got picked, but then the guy never changed, but she was still seeing it out. Cause I do also think Amanda is very comfortable being uncomfortable. So I
Hmm.
think she was just like stuck in it. I think the show was a big thing. I think
Yeah.
Kyle wanted to prove people wrong. So he
Yeah.
wanted them to make it down the aisle. I think a big thing was, I'll bring it back to Hannah Burner, Summer House. She often called out their relationship. And I think a big thing was him wanting to like prove to people like her, like, oh no, we're actually going to work. We're going to do this. And we'd often defend their relationship online and everything and didn't like when people talked about their relationship. And it's just like you're spending more time defending your relationship than actually it feels like enjoying your relationship.
Yeah.
Because what is there to actually enjoy?
Yeah.
And like I saw a little preview online of like the third part of the reunion. It just showed like a couple quick clips. But one of them, he's like hugging Amanda and he's just like, it just hurts because it feels like 10 years of a relationship. And it's just, we're focusing on it and making it seem like it was all bad. And it's like, but when was it good?
Yeah. What were the good parts, man? I'm so confused.
I don't get
But
it.
yeah,
But
I get what you mean. I think that they had a lot of probably outside pressure to stay together. And then I think in general, it's like nobody wants to get divorced. Amanda's
yeah.
really young. Kyle's old, so I guess I'm sure from his perspective, maybe he didn't want to start over, but like I wouldn't want to be early 20 something and be divorced. Like I feel like it just takes people, sometimes it takes people a while to get to that point.
Yeah.
But the writing was on the wall for a long time.
It was.
Mm,
Um, we learned too that Kyle had made out with Sally from Southern Charm, I think the night of the premiere. And
yeah.
Ciara's like, yes. And I told Amanda, I called her and I said, oh, this happened. It's fucked up. Amanda's like, yes, you
Yeah,
did. And
you did. You
Ciara's like,
did.
yeah, bitch, I'm saying this just to show how much of a good friend I am.
And she's like, "Oh."
Like,
I was
and
like,
how
"Where'd you
you're
think?"
not.
I was like, "Where'd you think it was going, Amanda?" Amanda's
Right.
just like, "Oh, right, right, right. I
Mm.
suck. I forgot."
They take a lunch break. And Amanda's frustrated. She's like, no one cares that Kyle's making out with different people. And they keep saying, oh, you're married. And it's like, they know my marriage was bad. And it's like, pause, bitch. You brought up your marriage in the leaked audio. You brought up your marriage as one of the reasons as to why you didn't want to make a statement with Wes or go public because you knew you were still married. So when they're saying you're still married, it's because you use that as a point when it benefits you or whenever you want to use it. Also, it's not
Yeah,
about you kissing other people. You can kiss whoever. It's about who you are kissing.
I was like, "Wait, they both don't listen. Like, are you okay?" Amanda, like, are you all right? Like, have you
No.
retained any? Are you wearing earplugs? Like, you're not hearing anything. We don't give a fuck about what Kyle's doing because Kyle is not with anybody on the cast who's dated another person on the cast. If Kyle was with Lindsey all of a sudden, yes, we'd be upset, but he's not. So we don't give a fuck. He's single. And yeah, okay, yes, he's still connected to you, but it's totally different. But we're going to critique the hell out of you because you're being messy and weird. And and for some reason, you can't seem to like understand that. So then we're gonna critique you even harder. Like,
Mhm.
I just don't understand. Like, I think they're both narcissists. I just when people cannot see their behavior critically at all, that's very concerning. Like, how do you live life like that to just be like, yeah, I don't understand why everyone's so mad. Like,
No,
wait.
they're not listening, and it just reminds me because I recently rewatched the Scandival reunion when Ariana just tells Tom, "Please try to grasp the point, please,"
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, period. Like, try and grasp it because you know it's not just because you're kissing someone else or hooking up with anyone else. Like, you know that, Amanda. People were encouraging you to do that.
Yeah.
But and then Wes says, you know, you just need to stop letting Ciara get under your skin because we know that's what she wants you to do, or that's her goal to get under your skin. And I'm like, you spiteful, hairy, little, sweaty bitch, shut the fuck up.
Ciara should do more than get under your skin. If she got on the stage and beat Amanda up, you know what I mean? Like she could do a lot worse, West. But the fact that you don't even think in your brain like, "Oh, she's trying to get under her skin." Like as if you've done nothing to her, as if she has no reason to be upset. Like you're so dense. Oh my God.
I hate him.
He sucks.
And also, people are pointing out online, oh, they've talked about it. They can't stand Ciara, and she's been getting under Amanda's skin. They hate that Ciara's getting so much support right now. They are jealous.
Oh yeah, I bet that Amanda was only close to Ciara or to only open up to Ciara because she knew it would get her airtime.
That spite and
Ciara and
resentment
Mia.
is showing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get Ciara FaceTiming Miha.
Crazy. Mia is so pretty. I'm so
Stunning.
mad that this man was
It's
with so
heartful.
many beautiful girls who also are all, I mean, with the exception of Amanda, great women.
He has an
And just,
impeccable roster.
it is, and just dogged them is crazy. She's over here. I furnished this whole house. That's crazy.
I can't believe Quasimodo is pulling all these bad bitches and treating them so disrespectfully.
Oh my God.
Mm. Miha tells Ciara and Kyle, because Kyle joins. He's like, hi. And she's like, hi, Kyle. She's like, we dated all summer this past summer. I was at his apartment every weekend. Ciara's like, you built his furniture, which is crazy. And
Mm-hmm.
she's like, he would refer to me as his girlfriend. And like, ultimately, the reason why we wouldn't go public was one, he would get fired. He said he would get fired if he was dating someone outside the Bravo sphere. And Kyle's like, that's not true. Literally, people
Yeah.
do that all the time.
Yeah, and it's probably, and I think he just alluded to the fact that Mija just wouldn't know because she's not in it. But it's like, yeah, look at Ben and Sabrina.
Yeah. And then also he like told her, "Oh, I just, I don't want to put you in the public eye where people can judge and like if you get brought on, you'll go against Ciara." And
Nope.
Ciara's just like, "Okay," but then he gets with Amanda, one of my good friends, and pins us against each other.
Yep. Yep. No,
And
he just didn't want to have to be accountable for anything.
yeah, and Miha's just like, we were together and then out of nowhere I get dropped and he does that statement and I'm just left to like deal with everything on my own and figure it all out. And I'm like,
Aw.
oh, Miha, I hate this
I
for
think she
you.
got emotional a little bit, and I was
She
like, damn.
did.
But it's literally what Lindsay said. Like, he will take what he wants from somebody and drop them. Being with Ciara gave him influence and popularity, dropped. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what being with Amanda's gonna do for you, but here we are.
It's getting you chopped. Real chopped West.
Ugh, it's just
But
crazy.
but it seems like the reunion ends and it seems like they're going to be bringing up like the Miha stuff and the details of the Miha stuff in part 3. So I am very excited for that.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought this part 2 was pretty good.
It was. Usually, I think you mentioned it before that part twos are usually rough. I
Hmm.
like this one because I feel like we still got the to the like heart of the conversation. What we really want to hear
Hmm.
is all of the Sierra and West stuff. So,
Agreed.
yeah, it was
Mm.
good.
I'm here for it. But with that being said, y'all, thank y'all so much for listening, and we'll see y'all
Thank
next
you.
time. Bye.